what our athletes are doing, everyone thinks is impossible. That you can be that fast, that you can be that strong, that you can have that many different skills. You can walk on your hands, clear an obstacle course, flip objects, get up and down ropes. And so when people see that, I think it's popular nowadays to say it's impossible. They have to be using performance-enhancing drugs.
Performance-enhancing drugs in sport outdate even my parents, right? They've been in games and sports for my entire life and far longer than that.
I want to beat you, and you want to beat me. And if you're cheating to beat me, it's going to really piss me off.
So are performance-enhancing drugs in the sport of CrossFit? Yes. Do they have an impact on the sport? I don't think that anybody who's using is having an impact on the leaderboard at the top level.
Champions who tested positive, CrossFit would be the first person to dime them out.
Are there athletes who are essentially cycling off whatever they're on so they can test clean at the games? Possibly. I'm not going to say no.
Have you taken steroids before?
No.
Do you think that there are steroids in our sport?
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
If you're not in a sport, if you're not competing in a sport, and you want to do steroids, have at them. Who cares? Like, if you just want to get big, yoked, strong, do whatever you want to do, have at it. Like, it doesn't affect me. If it makes you happy, do your thing, man. The minute you sign up for a competition where you're saying, I'm not on drugs, like, now you're a piece of shit.
What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another vlog. Let's just get straight into it. Today's topic is going to be about steroids in CrossFit. Now, I've wanted to talk about steroids in CrossFit for a very long time, but I've always felt like it was a bit of a touchy subject, and I wasn't sure on what kind of feedback people would give to the channel. But recently in CrossFit, there's been quite a lot of drug bans come into play. Firstly, I'm just going to touch on some of the athletes that actually have been banned. So a few months back, it was announced on the Morning Chalk Up that Chantel Lorna was banned and Lauren Herrera was banned. Now, they both competed at the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Championships, and it says here Lorna was she was caught for an anabolic steroid, which was an oral in oral form, and it was Turinabol. Now, regarding Lauren Herrera, now she was caught by the steroid Endurobol. Now, Endurobol seems to be cropping up a lot more common than some of the other steroids. She is a 3-time games qualifier. She's gone as a team, Hustle Hard CrossFit, 3 years, so it's quite a shock, but it makes you wonder how long these athletes have been doping for, if they were legitimately doping or they've got some type of contaminated supplements, which I'm going to go on to in a few moments time when I discuss some of the other bands. So yeah, they're the two names that came out a few months back, and everyone was kind of like, oh, well, CrossFit seemed to be doing their job by catching these athletes, and then literally within a few weeks we got the news that Ben Gerard, the famous Gerard brothers, are back, and not for the good reasons. So yeah, Ben Gerard was caught with the same substance as what his brother Ricky did at the games. Now, to me, this is no surprise at all. If you're training in that environment where people are on performance-enhancing drugs, then you are you're going to get involved with it, and especially if it is your younger brother. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, so Ben Gerard actually withdrew from the Down Under Championship, and he was tested after he withdrew. And as well as him and his brother getting done for Endurobol, again, Panaccio was also banned for the same substance. So it seems like this Endurobol it seems to be the most popular steroid within that kind of CrossFit athletes. I've not really seen any statement from Ben Gerard regarding the drugs ban. Whether he's just took it on the chin or not, I do not know. I've not actually heard whether he's going to contest it or not. So it'll be interesting to see where that one goes. But interestingly, after them drug bans came out, Brian Miller, who was a OG CrossFitter, he competed at the 2013 games also. But he came out and he actually admitted via his Instagram that he did a 12-week cycle of steroids. I'm not sure if he's doing this because he's got a book coming out, that is going to reveal all this. I'm not sure whether he's just kind of had enough and wants to put an end to some of the rumours, whether other athletes are on performance enhancing drugs. I'm not really sure, so it'd be interesting to see what is said in his book. My guess is it's probably linked to that book. It's gaining a bit of publicity. People are going to want to read it, so it'll be interesting to see what is in that. Now moving on to the latest ban, which came as a big shock for me. It was actually one of Rich Froning's CrossFit Mayhem athletes, and it's actually CrossFit Mayhem Independence captain Ellie Cabord. Now, seeing Ellie in people's vlogs, seeing her on CrossFit channel, she seems like a very genuine woman. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Now, Ellie and Rich Froning actually did a podcast on this, explaining what their reasons were behind the positive test, and why they felt they got the positive test in the first place. They stated that she's now got lawyers to help her with her case and prove that it was a contaminated supplement, which is what I was going to talk about previously. So she was done for the drug clenbuterol. Now I do know a little bit about clenbuterol because a lot of people in the bodybuilding world use it for stripping fat and cutting for when they hit the stage. Another benefit of clenbuterol is, well, it's used on cattle, horses for respiratory problems. So whether them effects can also help an athlete with their respiratory or help them maybe breathe better during endurance events or not. It's also got positive symptoms for muscle growth also, which I don't know too much about on that side of things. I know it burns fat and it strips fat. A lot of boxers use it for when they're cutting weight for fights. Famous boxer Canelo Alvarez recently got done for clenbuterol in his test prior to his rematch with Golovkin. So similar to Ellie, Canelo actually said that the positive test was down to meat contamination. Now, he's a Mexican fighter, and in Mexico, farmers actually feed their cattle clenbuterol in their cattle feed. So he was able to prove, I don't know how, but through his lawyers, that he had actually eaten contaminated meat, so he didn't get a ban. Now I believe that Ellie has said that it may be in a supplement that she took during the Reykjavik CrossFit Championships, where she said she was fatigued and she needed a supplement with, I think it was zinc and magnesium in. So they're trying to prove now through her lawyers that it was this supplement that potentially gave her the positive clenbuterol test. The famous Tour de France winner, Alberto Contador, he had a positive test for clenbuterol when he won the Tour de France, so he got stripped of the Tour de France title and also the Giro d'Italia. So it is very common. Clenbuterol does seem to pop up quite a lot, but this is the first time we've kind of seen it in CrossFit. So normally when athletes do get caught with a positive test and then they try and blame it on like a contaminated supplement, I'm always a little bit skeptical, as if they're using it as a get out of jail card. But looking into it, and athletes have proven that the positive results has come from contaminated supplements or meats, it does make me think whether or not this is genuine. So I do genuinely think this is a mistake. She hasn't knowingly took the supplement. However, within other sporting organisations, even if you are unaware that you are taking a supplement that has a banned substance in, you are still responsible for what you are putting on your body, and you should know exactly what is in that supplement. So I believe in athletics, if you can prove that you unknowingly took the substance in your supplement, that you'll get a reduced ban. You will still get a 2-year ban, but it'll be a reduced ban, not the full 4 years. And I think CrossFit will employ the same guidelines for when they are doing their bans. So hopefully, Ellie can prove that she's innocent and that she didn't knowingly take the supplement. If she did knowingly take the supplement, it kind of makes you wonder where that leaves CrossFit Mayhem and her place within CrossFit Mayhem. Does this mean other athletes at CrossFit Mayhem are doping? I don't know. I'm going to do another vlog later on down the line with some of the guys from my local box, and we're just going to talk openly about steroids in CrossFit, what we think about it, who we think potentially could be on it, if we think the top athletes are on it, or whether these are just freaks of nature. So that'll be a separate vlog, but my personal opinion is there is a lot more of the top level CrossFit athletes out there that are on performance enhancing drugs. Whether they are being more clever with when they are taking the drugs, are they cycling on and off before the games? That is going to be a lot harder now. These are the sanctioned events throughout the year, whereas before you could have an off season, you could qualify through the open, maybe do a cycle, come off the cycle a month or two before. I don't know the ins and outs of steroids. By the time you get tested for the games, you're clean. I don't know enough about the subject to know how it is done, but it'll be interesting to see if any more athletes get banned between now and up until the games. CrossFit Mayhem have got to go to the French Throwdown and try and qualify for the French Open now because their place is void. They've been disqualified due to the positive test. So it will be interesting to see CrossFit Mayhem perform under a bit of pressure now, and normally CrossFit Mayhem are always in a good light. It's Rich Froning, the GOAT of CrossFit. It'd be interesting to see how they handle it. Another thing I wanted to talk about was like most of the athletes that have been banned haven't really come out and given a statement. Now, Elia Kabor did come out and she did the podcast with Rich. Now the only thing, maybe this is me being cynical, but it looked like she could have done a statement on her own. But the fact that she did a podcast with Rich, I get he's part of the team and stuff, but it just seemed like she did it with Rich, because obviously Rich got so much credit within the sport and he is the GOAT of CrossFit. It seemed like she was trying to use Rich to maybe make it look a bit more sympathetic, maybe get away with a bit more, I don't know. Will she get away with a bit more because it's Rich, because it's CrossFit Mayhem? These are all questions that I don't know the answers to, it's just thoughts that are going around in my head. She did, I would say, I've never in my life taken a drug that wasn't prescribed to me. That being said, I am 100% responsible for everything I put in my body. So she is saying that it is potentially her fault. She should have been more strict with what she was putting in her body. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this one goes, whether it tarnishes Mayhem's reputation a little bit, I don't know. Will any more big name athletes get caught? I think steroids in CrossFit is a big issue, and more people are taking it, but just not being caught. Again, this is just my view on the matter. I'm going to sit down and have a more in-depth chat about steroids with some of the guys from my box, get other people's opinions on it. Maybe I'm a bit cynical. But yeah, this is just my opinion. This is no reflection on the athletes themselves. We'll see what happens. We'll see if any more big names get banned before the games. It'd be a shame if they did. But it looks like CrossFit's drug kind of testing regime is getting better. Whether it can still be improved, yes, potentially. We are still unsure of how they test athletes, whether they're out of season testing, how often they get tested. I know Matt Fraser said he gets tested all the time, which is good. I don't want any of the top level athletes that I love to be banned. So we'll see where CrossFit go from here, see how their drug policy kind of grows with the sport. If you did enjoy this video, please smash that like button and please subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing some daily recap videos for the CrossFit Games, so watch out for them. Thank you so much for supporting the channel so far. I am 6 months into this channel and absolutely loving putting out some of this content for you guys. If you do like my videos, please smash that like button and please subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping I'm getting 1,000 subs before the year is up, so please help me out with that, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you in the next one.